Greetings, people of the world! Matthew back with you here at Novora Autism for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. It is day 22 of 75 for EDSS here in the Realm Reborn, and we've completed one of the first major milestones of our responsibilities with the Signs of the Seventh Dawn, and as a reward, we got to learn from some friends of Lady Minfilia about the opportunity to gain materia to be able to attach it to our weapons and armor to make ourselves stronger. However, if we are going to be able to gain such an ability, we actually need to be able to craft it for ourselves, so that will involve taking on the various crafting skills that are entailed in this game. Before we can even attempt them though, we have to do something here back at the Carpenters Guild here in Gridania. So, let's go ahead and engage in this particular activity. In fact, I'm going to get these three particular tasks out of the way right now, just to make it a point to do so. So, it's been a while since we met up with Guildmaster Uwain. I think the last time we met up with him was back on day 3 or 4. So, he has a level 10 challenge for us called Courage of Stone. Guildmaster Uwain has a mind to test your courage. Ah, Edie, I swear you haven't gained a nil around the arms since we last spoke. It is plain that you have not been idle. In our previous lesson, you learned the Lancer's definition of courage and how you might go about tempering its two aspects. Today we shall find out if your efforts have borne fruit. I see of you come prepared for battle. That is well. Your next trial will place you in the midst of a throng of enemies. In such a situation, one may be attacked from any direction, making it difficult to respond appropriately. Furthermore, the likelihood of being surrounded is high. Will your resolve bear the weight of uncertainty? Will your composure hold when the odds are stacked against you? We shall soon find out. Should you overcome this trial, what courage you already possess will be further tempered. Now heed me well, for this is what you must do. I would have you travel to Naked Rock, where the Annulls claim dominion. At the summit of the rock is a sacred artifact, the Stone of Courage. You must claim it and bring it to me. If you are to reach your destination, you will need to negotiate a path through whole packs of flesh-eating scalekin. Make no mistake, the creatures are intimidating foes. To stride into the midst of so many would ask much of any Lancer's courage, but given time and no small amount of perseverance, I am confident you will prove equal to the task. And so, that is what we shall do. So since we've been to Naked Rock before for a particular challenge, I will meet you guys there. It's in the Central Shroud, so I'll meet you guys in the Central Shroud at the base of Naked Rock in a moment, and so be right back, and I'll join you there. Okay, so made it back to the base of Naked Rock, and for those of you who wanted to be reminded on where exactly it is right around this direction. You come to the southeast from New Gridania through the Blue Badger Gate and make your way over here. So now that we have done so, we can now start making our way up Naked Rock to try and find the Sacred Stone of Courage. But having to do so means having to deal with all these Annulls, and these things are known to be very dangerous. These things cause high amounts of damage, and you have to be careful, for the most part, to try and avoid them. But we can see where exactly we need to be located. So let's start by beating up some Annulls to get some out of the way. And yeah, whenever you see an enemy using a special ability like that, get out of the way. You absolutely have to get out of the way in order to stand a chance. And now here's where things get really dicey. Yeah, now we've gotten too close to the perimeter, and so now we've invoked young Annulls to come out and play. And these things are going to come after us. Gotta do the best we can to stay clear of them. Thankfully, I'm so over-leveled, because I'm twice the recommended experience level for this challenge, that I'm not being affected all that much. Alright, so now that we've dealt with them, it's now time to deal with you guys. Make sure you stay out of the way of the frost breath, or else you're gonna regret it. And then, let's get rid of you for good measure. Just because I can. And you're dead. Anyway, so let's pick up the Stone of Courage. And when we do, we get a cutscene. Congratulations, you have obtained the full Stone of Courage. Yeah, remember this guy from back on day 4? Oh, you heard me right. False. What does that say about your courage, I wonder? Oh, but where are my manners? My name is Falquez. We had the pleasure of meeting at the Lancers Guild a few weeks ago. On that occasion, I turned my weapon upon you, and you betrayed not a hint of fear. It was in that instant I sensed you unlike the others, that you had promise. And so to the present. In its current state, the trial in which you are engaged, if trial it may be called, makes a mockery of the Lancer's art. Needless to say, this cannot be tolerated. And so I have taken the liberty of moving the Stone of Courage to a more suitable location. It now resides in the depths of Spirit Hold under the guard of fellow fiends. A far more fitting challenge, as I'm sure you will agree. Whether or not you attempt to retrieve the stone is for you to decide. If you fear for your safety, I suggest you run back to the guild and bemoan the world's frightfulness to the many souls who cower there. You ain't will doubtless consider it a supremely courageous act. Yet know that a Lancer may forge true courage only in the midst of great danger. And so, yeah, he spouts his rhetoric and I'm still being attacked. Or actually, rather, someone else is also engaging in the same task I was just doing. And we did not obtain the stone. I thought we just did. Game, why do you crowd foul on me? Oh yeah, that's right, because I have to go to Spirit Hold. Duh, the text changed. Ah, idiot. I have to go to Spirit Hold. Ugh. And that's right, Falquez just said that. Moron. Ah! Ow! Yeah, take your 256-point penalty. You deserve it for not reading the text right. Ugh. So yeah, past all the insects. And yeah, I believe this is where we need to be. Yep, this is Spirit Hold. And thankfully, because I'm once again overleveled, the opponents should be no difficulty. Yeah, these little tricksters can be dangerous if your level is lower. Not for me though. This will be simply a walk in the park. In fact, I'm going to get a little assistance here from some fledgling lancers. Alright, so now you should soon be dead. And you are. So, moving on. Yeah, clear all the tricksters out of the way, else because they're feral, they'll just keep following you until you kill them. And yeah, don't wait too long. Alright, you're next. Now it is your turn. I shall make an example out of you. And boom, you're dead. Alright, in here. Now, where did Falquez stick that Stone of Courage? Where could it possibly be? Could be out in the open, it could be in any of these cells. And what's beyond there, I wonder? Maybe a question best answered another time. Okay, so yeah, let's start perusing the cells to see if the Stone of Courage was placed in here. Oh wow, they didn't go feral. Yeah, that will happen if your level is too high, that feral enemies will just not even bother challenging you because they know you're going to kick their ass. Which is fine by me, quite frankly. Alright, Falquez, where'd you put the thing? You said you were going to stick around here somewhere. Oh, I see numbers changing. Might be a clue as to where it is. Yeah, it's in here. And we gotta beat up these things. Lockbreaker imps. A little more specification would have been nice. Oh. Yes, there are two of them. I guess Jungle Kitty completed the task and now it's my turn and now I've done it. Acquire the Stone of Courage. Or is this just another fake? Well, They're claiming it's true, so I will meet you guys back at the Lancers Guild then, and I will give this quote-unquote Stone of Courage to Ywain. So be right back. Okay, made it back to Guildmaster Ywain, and so now let's give him the Stone of Courage. So you have returned. Tell me, were you able to obtain the Stone of Courage? Yes, I did. Yes, this is indeed the stone, though it is in rather worse condition than when I last saw it. What happened to Naked Rock? Well, you're not gonna like what you hear. The Lancer who but recently threatened you moved the stone to Spirit Hold. Not content with trespass and slander, the brazen fool now meddles with all training! Seven hells, this is not to be borne! Listen well, Edie. Though I do not doubt that you know better, my duty as Guildmaster compels me to state the obvious. Heed not that man's words. That a Lancer's courage can only be forged in the midst of great danger is vainglorious tripe. As you have already learned, a Lancer's courage is the product of composure and resolve. Be under no misapprehension. Watchfully navigating the Norse territory served to temper your courage in a manner that braving the terrors of Spirit Hold did not. As you continue your training, pray keep the lesson of this trial close to your heart. Before you return to your adventuring, there's one more thing I will tell you. In recognition of your unwavering efforts in the trials thus far, I hereby grant you leave to join other guilds. Naturally, you must seek the permission of the relevant guildmaster before commencing your training. Gridania is home to many great guilds besides our own. If you consider combat your calling, the archers and the conjurers have a strong presence in our nation. Should you crave a more peaceful pastime, you may alternatively consider joining the leatherworkers, carpenters, and botanists. While there is something to be said for broadening one's horizons, it is also important to maintain focus. Always bear this in mind. As your guildmaster, I would naturally prefer that you first master the Lancer's art. Rest assured there will be time enough to take up another discipline when you have done so. Yet whatever path, or paths you choose to walk, I look forward to seeing you realize your obvious potential. And so you now have access to the armory system. Quests to unlock the other classes can be undertaken by speaking to the receptionist in the corresponding guild. There exist myriad disciplines in Eorzea that adventurers can take up. For the most rewarding experience, however, it is recommended that you first focus on mastering your current class. There is a downside to that, however. Doing so means you would have to grind up to experience level 30 at the current warrior class or magic class that you are currently doing. And since our objective is to start trying to affix materia to our weapons and armor, it is better that we start taking on the appropriate sorts of crafting classes right now. But we'll make it a point to complete the remaining challenges here up to level 20 for myself. So let's get the elegant bronze piece because we don't need the money. Or we do need the money, we're just choosing to make it a point to not take the weapons or armor because we now are pretty much too strong for those weapons and armor. So let's take on Guildmaster Ywain's level 15 challenge entitled A Dangerous Proposition. Guildmaster Ywain urgently needs you to travel to the East Shroud in his stead. Oh, Hedy, you come at a good time. I urgently require your help. Scarcely a bell ago, our old friend Falquez paid us another visit, seemingly intent on reprising the performance he gave on the day of your first meeting. As on that occasion, he raved till the owl was thick with slanders, declaring every soul who met his gaze more craven than the last. This time, however, not all ears were deaf to his myriad provocations. It seems one of our younger members took offense at his words and demanded satisfaction of the robe. The two have since departed to the duel in the East Shroud. Had I been on hand, I would have forbidden such folly and rebuked the lad for letting pride cloud his judgment. Alas, I learned of it too late, and the boy is gone. All we can do now is ensure that the hot-headed fool does not come to lasting harm. I would have departed in pursuit of the pair ere you came, but my duties keep me here. That is why I turn to you now, Edie. Pray go to the East Shroud in my stead, and watch over our comrade. And so, away we go. So now we have to find Falquez out on the East Shroud. And the fastest way we can get to said East Shroud is by coming over here, if we can find the door. Yeah, there it is. There's the door. By coming over to this door, we can now gain access, and you couldn't do this until you were at least experience level 10, but since we're experience level 20, we can speak with Romorik, and we can gain access to Sweet Bloom Pier. The Lavender Beds, that's the housing for adventurers, but we don't want to go there. We want to go Sweet Bloom Pier. We'll happen to be heading across the lake to Sweet Bloom Pier in these Shroud. And so we want to board the ferry and make our way for the first time into the East Shroud. So there are 5 different shrouds in the Black Shroud, the central, and then of course the 4 compass directions. So what we want to do now is follow the direction of the arrow to where it is we need to go. Should probably put a little bit of a spring in our step. However, not so much of one, because now that we're here in the East Shroud, we can get the opportunity, as you can see, to start killing more enemies that will enable us the opportunity to add to our Lancer's hunting logs. So we're going to make it a point to do that. Yeah, so far not much of a challenge from this wild hoglet. And of course I am at level 14, so this should not come as too much of a surprise. Yeah, now the battle music engages. Yeah, now the battle music is in effect. Alright, another one down, and now for 3rd. Because we need to kill 3 in order to add this to our log. So we'll make sure we get them out of the way before we continue on. And it's dead. And there we go, we added another 4,500 points to our Lancer's log. Let's see where we are at right now, and I can see that the icon was above me. Hunting log. So yeah, we've already gone through number 11 and 12. While we're here, we can also get 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then number 19 and 20 are both on the South Shroud, which we have not yet been to. Anyway, Falquez is right over here. Hello again. Yeah, it looks like our ally is a bit worse for wear after squaring off with Falquez. So you may again. You remember who I am, Archros? Yes, I do. But of course you remember your mentor, he who taught you the true meaning of courage. I understand you were able to retrieve the Stone of Courage in Spirit Hold. It seems I was right about you. You have the makings of a true Lancer, unlike those charlatans at the Lancers Guild. It is well that you have come for me, for I have just a trial for you, one that will do wonders for your courage. Not interested, you say? But you have no choice. Should you refuse, well, suffice it to say that I will not be able to guarantee the safety of your comrade here. When last we spoke, I told you that a Lancer may forge true courage only in the midst of great danger. Needless to say, the threat posed by ordinary creatures is insufficient. You must needs seek out better sport. But fear not, I have taken the liberty of finding you something suitable. Take this alchemic potation, and sprinkle it upon the exposed roots yonder. Doing so will garner you the wrath of a certain creature which you must then strike down. Yeah, he likes to threaten us like that. Because that's just the type of goon he is. It's like, how dare you threaten me, as well as my ally. So yes, I want to, before I do anything else, I want to sort my items. Okay, yeah, just in case things go horribly wrong, I want to be ready at a moment's notice. In fact, on inventory, I will place the high potion on set a hotbar, press R1, and I will put it over in my left slot on L2. So now, let's use this alchemic potation to expose whatever we're going to be fighting. In this case, it's a level 18 Angered Elm. And I can pretty much assure you this thing is not quite very happy to see us. As demonstrated by the fact that he scored nearly 100 points of damage on me. However, it seems that we are soon going to kill this thing. Yeah, for level 18 opponents, not much of a challenge, but of course, I'm over-leveled. Alright, Falquez, I just finished your challenge and I felled the tree. What do you want from me now? So you have vanquished the treant. Well done. By striking down that frenzied creature, you have further strengthened your courage. Release your comrade? Oh, I shall. Once you've completed my next trial. This one will pit you against a multitude of foes. Make your way to Lifeman's Stump in the central shroud. Once there, seek out a likely spot along the forest path to lie in wait. Man-eating wolves are wont to hunt there at this time of year, and it shall not be long before a pack appears. When the beasts show themselves, you are to slay their leader, the Alpha Wolf. I shall be observing from up close, the better to offer you advice. So yeah, now we have to make our way to the Lifeman's Stump back in the central shroud, so I am going to then proceed to do that. I will take a quick time out and I will rejoin you guys once I'm back at Lifeman's Stump in the central shroud, so don't go away. Okay, so during the timeout I made it a point to take care of some additional hunting logs since they were so close by, so I was able to add 4 more completions to my hunting log, and it was enough to get me up to level 21 and then some, because I'm actually already a quarter of the way through level 21. So now we've reached the location where Folk has wanted us to go, which was back to Lifeman's Stump. And what we wanted to do here is that we want to double click on the destination and then lie in wait, as it recommends here. And then once we've done our waiting, duty calls. Commence battle for a dangerous proposition. If your level is above 19, it will be synced. And so, yeah, that's what's going to happen to us. Our level is going to be synced down to 19. But we do get to keep all the weapons and armor we are equipped with. Alright, here we go. Defeat the wolves. And hey, Falquez is even going to join us. 'Tis as good as over if the Alpha Wolf paralyzes you. Well, will the courage hold out in the face of terror? We shall see. Yeah, so he spouts off his propaganda. I'd like to attack the wolf that's in front of me, thanks. That would be nice. If at all possible. Alright, it's now your turn. I shall rip you all to pieces. Particularly because I have Falquez helping me out. I was really hoping it was not going to come up to this, but I don't have a choice. And these things are just going to keep coming. Oh yeah, now Falquez decides to blind us for some ridiculous reason. A true Nansen needs not his eyes to win, only his courage. Well, thanks a lot for that. So yeah, he's pretty much going to leave you to fend for yourself at some point. Yeah, not all that fun to be up against these kinds of opponents repeatedly. Yeah, in fact, yeah, he will actually make it a point to heal you. Granted, his healing isn't all that impressive. Oh dear, it was saying you have enraged the beast. Well, you started it. Yeah, now he's going to abandon us. So, now it is up to... Well, this is almost over anyway, so... Yeah, that's it. The Alpha Wolf is now dead. And so now we have to finish off what's left. And there we go. Yeah, a little help from Falquez, but we have prevailed. So, when we do, you're to be congratulated, Edie. By throwing yourself into the midst of danger, you have further tempered your courage. Yeah, I know you're coming. Why are you still here? And in the process, you brought peace to Lifeman's Stump, a place considered sacred by the people of Gridania. Having undertaken my trials, you must now see that those issued by the Guild are not but child's play. Mine is the one true path to all courage, all others lead to ignominy. If you wish to become a lancer worthy of the name, I suggest you leave Uwain and his house of cravens never to return. Yeah, I'm breathing heavily, but I'll decline. For your sake, I pray you do so soon, till we meet again. And so, away he goes again. So now our level is restored back to what it was, which is at 21. And with the challenge now taken care of, I will meet you guys back over in Gridania and let Ywain know what has happened. So be right back. Okay, back at Guildmaster Ywain to let him know we've finished the level 15 challenge. So let's hear what he has to say about our success. Edie, thank the gods you are safe. That young fool of a lancer returned but moments ago, and through choked tears recounted to me all that transpired. I understand Falk has again attempted to force upon you his corrupted notion of courage. I cannot say this often enough. A lancer strengthens his courage by tempering his composure and resolve, not by rushing in headlong into danger. You were able to overcome Falk's trials, 'tis true, yet know that you did so by virtue of true courage, that is courage born of composure and resolve. You faltered not before the fury of a frenzied treant, nor did you succumb to panic when surrounded by bloodthirsty wolves. Owing to this, you were able to perform to the fullest of your potential. You have come far, Edie. It is past time that I taught you the piercing talon technique, one of the most versatile weapons of the Lancer's arsenal. May it serve you well. Now I must needs decide what course of action to take with regard to your self-appointed mentor. Though no lives were lost, this latest incident only serves to confirm what I have long suspected, that Falkes will cause great harm if left to propagate his corrupted notion of courage. He must be persuaded to desist, though I do not yet know how. Mayhap his regard for you could be turned to our advantage, but leave such considerations to me. For the time being, you would do well to put Falkes from your mind, focus on your training, and strive to master the technique I have taught you. I look forward to our next meeting. Well, it won't take that long to do so, because it's going to happen right after this. So, we are already equipped with a brass spear, so we don't have to worry about getting a stronger weapon. We do obtain the piercing talon skill automatically, and then could we gain anything from any of the level 16 or 15s? The answer is no on that, so we're going to take the money. And so, we've completed the level 10 Lensing Skill Challenge and the level 15 challenge. We've also gained the Piercing Talon ability. And now, since we are at level 21, it's time for the level 20 challenge, entitled Lance of Destiny. Guildmaster Ywain has a trial in mind for you, which promises to be more dangerous than any you have faced thus far. I have been expecting you, Edie. You have been training hard, I trust. I would set you on your next trial, one more dangerous than any you have faced before. But I would never send an unprepared man to his death. Before we proceed, I must needs verify your progress with mine own eyes. You will face 3 experienced lancers in single combat. Defeat each one in succession, and you will prove yourself fit to undertake the trial. Arm yourself, and take your place in the training area. We begin when you are ready. Right, and so, yes, we're gonna have to go through a 3-duel gauntlet. Let's see if I can hold out. Since we are not level 24, yeah, everyone clear with the way. I'm about to duel. Just waiting on the die to be cast. Here we go. And we begin. No one is to hold back. Begin, he says. Let's see if I can indeed hold out and prevail. Now this first one is easy to defeat. The next 2, though, much tougher because they possess an ability that you cannot actually obtain as a Lancer. Yeah, so that was no challenge. But now the next 2, that's where things are going to become really problematic. Because there is a specific reason for this. Once you see an ability called Heartstopper, get out of the way, because that thing does insane amounts of damage to you, and I can pretty much assure you that if you just stand in the way of the Heartstopper, you are not going to survive this challenge. And it's a really good thing to your advantage to get behind a person when they're using a technique like Heartstopper, because when you do that, it ensures that you will stay alive, because they never will follow you. When they are locked into doing a special ability, they will never follow you with it. Just stay free and clear, and make sure that you're ready to go when they're exhausted their move. Alright, Heartstopper again. And this is pretty dramatic music for a 3-round gauntlet. Just stay clear of the Heartstopper because, yeah, for the longest time I had no idea that you could actually get out of the way of an opponent's ability. I thought that they just follow you no matter where you go. But I found out eventually by actually doing this trial that that was not the case, that you can actually get out of an opponent's way and hold your own. And I'm going to take a precaution and use a high potion just to ensure that I can survive. Yeah, odds are at my experience level, you're going to want to make it a point to use a high potion. Especially when he uses a technique like critical skill, which will really ramp up his attack. So you really gotta hold your own, especially here in the dying moments. Now, put up your lance! Victory is mine! And so, having successfully done that, well done, Edie. Oh, we have an observer, it seems. And it turns out the Guildmaster wasn't the only one. Well, I think I know why that is, but, well, maybe not. Let's get confirmation from the Guildmaster. Let's see what he has to say about my 3-victory gauntlet. Impressive, Edie. Most impressive. You are ready to face the trial. Yet I did not exaggerate when I said it would be dangerous. Make no mistake. To take this test is to risk death. Knowing this, do you still wish to proceed? Of course I do, Guildmaster. That's why I'm here. You disappoint me. Yeah, back again, are you? Yes, back again. That man is the only sort in this pathetic excuse for a guild who shows any promise. This is why I counseled him to leave you. Alas, he chose to remain in your house of cravens. Such a waste. This guild has outlived its purpose, and I mean to see its doors shut and barred for good. If you wish to object, I invite you to do so with lance in hand. You do not want for confidence, sir. But answer me this: what grudge do you hold against us? For what reason did you choose this of all crusades? I detest cravens who proclaim their courage and like nothing better than to crush them. That is my reason. Well, the fixity of your purpose is clear, even if your reasoning is not. So be it. Suffice it to say, you will not have your way without a fight. Oh, but do not presume that I will be your opponent. No, you must face the Lancer whom you so grandly claimed mentorship. The one man among us whose potential you condescend to acknowledge. Edie shall present us all. As Guildmaster, I wager the fate of this guild upon his lance. Ha! Do as you will, coward. It is your guilt to throw away. You may even set the terms of the contest. Very well. Edie here is to undertake a trial. I challenge you to complete the task before he does. You are to travel to the East Shroud and prove your courage before the Lord of the Bramble Patch. He is a giant amongst bulls, unrivaled in strength and savagery, and ruler over all his kind. You must go before this fearsome creature and stand your ground. Know, though, that the Lord of the Bramble Patch will not grant an audience to just anyone. You must needs present him an offering of the bloody tusks of his subjects, the wild bulls that inhabit his domain. When you have prepared your offering, leave it upon an area of trampled earth. Drawn to the stench of the blood, the Lord of the Bramble Patch will soon appear. That is all. Are there any questions? No? Then let the trial commence. And so we shall do as the Guildmaster asks of us. So, I will go back to the East Shroud where I will rejoin you after collecting tusks from 10 wild boars, and then we will get our next challenge underway. So, be right back. Okay, so I've already killed off 9 of 10 wild boars, so just to show you that, yeah, I didn't want to waste my time or yours by having to repeat the same process over and over again for 10 times. So, for demonstration purposes, let me show you what happens when I kill off a wild boar. Because these things, much like the hoglets that are also around here, they will have the ability to use reckless charge on you, which is a pretty dangerous skill. The wild boars come with a little something extra, and I don't know if we're necessarily going to see it until before this battle comes to an end. No, they have another ability called Bellowing Grunt that can poison you. In case you were wondering. So, having accomplished all that, we can now, finally, with 10 tusks in tow, make our way up towards where the Bramble Patch is. which is at this icon over here. You know, so yeah, right here on the trampled earth. Alright, get ready. 10 bloody tusks. Leave them there. And wait by them. Yeah, that is a lot of tusks. That's pretty crazy. So, we're not above level 24, which means we can take this challenge. And so that is exactly what we shall do. Wish me luck, this one is pretty rough, and it comes with a really difficult twist, which I will have the opportunity to demonstrate as we go along. So yeah, waiting by the tusks. So yeah, here's Falkez. Yeah, you made me do all the dirty work, by the way. Yeah, here comes the Lord of the Bramble Patch. Yeah, 2 boars, then this thing, along with it. And so now we got a showdown on our hands. We have to team up with Falkez to try and beat this thing. Wish us luck. Now here's another reason why I put the high potion on one of my hotbar points. You actually have to keep Falkez alive during this battle. And if you don't, then you lose. It's an automatic disqualification. So, point number 1, make it a point to get rid of the wild hogs. Right away. So yeah, let's Falkez do the dirty work to start off. And then you can focus on the big guy. Just make sure you stay free and clear, and then get ready to help out when the situation rises. Right. Oh, but then... yeah, something else I should also point out as well. You got to keep yourself protected as well. Or, well, yeah, you gotta do that, but you gotta make a point to keep at least one of them alive. Yeah, now Falkez is doing the dirty work of fighting off the wild hogs, while I'm left to yeah, now it's getting a bit dicey because yeah, I'm a little worried here about for Falkez because we gotta keep him alive. Alright. And then throw him a high potion. It didn't work? You gotta be kidding. Really? We didn't do it. I thought I could keep him alive. Yeah, I do fear I'm about to fail. And if that happens, I'll feel like a total idiot. Because, yeah, you gotta keep him alive somehow. Oh, come on. Yeah, I threw him a high potion that didn't even count, which means he's gonna die. Alright, so, yeah, that's a disqualification. Alright, you know what? That's fine. We can come back to this another time because, yeah, I think I need to get my equipment up a little stronger. Yeah, this challenge has a real habit of being a real pain. So I guess we're gonna have to save the end of this challenge for another time. So in the meantime, let's go back and do what we were going to do before. Yeah, that really shocked me that that Falkez wasn't a recipient of my high potion, because his HP didn't increase, which was really weird. Because yeah, that shouldn't have happened the way it did. And that's a real shame, quite honestly. Alright, well, it's high time about that I made it a point to do what I actually intended to do here at the start of this episode, and that is to go over this direction, because now that we are of a high enough experience level, we can start expanding our horizons, as was recommended to us by the Guildmaster. Now, when you change classes, you do not, if you decide that you want to switch back to the warrior class that you were doing, you do not reset back to level 1. So that's very good to get that information. I want to speak to the receptionist here. Yes, Korg here at the Carpenters Guild, because it's him that I want to speak to. So you want to be a carpenter? Yes, I do. Greetings, adventurer, and welcome to the Carpenters Guild. We are the artisans who take wood and grant it new form and purpose as the archer's bow, the lancer's spear, and the novice's shield. And this is why I chose the Carpenters Guild, because, yeah, contrary to its name, carpenters are actually responsible for helping you get better weapons if you're a lancer or an archer. Which is really weird, but that's just how they operate. If carpentry holds any appeal, you should consider joining our guild. Might you be interested in learning the ways of woodworking? Yes, I am. Wonderful, wonderful. Now before we proceed, I think it only right that I acquaint you with our guild's storied past. Since the founding of Gridania, we have built our homes and crafted our weapons from the trees of the Twelveswood. As our nation grew and prospered, the woodworkers' repertoire expanded to encompass a greater variety of articles, and carpentry developed into an art. At first, there was no association of carpenters. Each individual worked and sought his services independently. However, the advent of watermills meant that more efficient construction methods were needed, along with formalized maintenance regimes, all of which necessitated organization. The Carpenters Guild was founded to oversee the operation of watermills and promote cooperation between woodworkers. Now I must mention at this point that we owe much and more of our prosperity to the Great Lone Growery. Thanks to the hard-working botanists, we are blessed with the finest lumber in all Eorzea. This confluence of ideal circumstances allows us to provide all manner of goods and services to the people of Gridania. My apologies, that was rather longer than I intended. Still, I trust you have gained a greater understanding of our guild. We expect our members to drink deep of the collected wisdom that the guild has amassed over the course of its history, to actively seek an understanding of wood and the techniques required to work it, rather than simply waiting to be taught. We expect, in short, nothing less than total commitment to the craft. If you wish to start down this path, speak to me once more, and I shall explain to you the enrollment process. Well, let's not waste any time, let's get right to it. Would you like to know more about the enrollment process? Yes, I would, please. Level 1, Way of the Carpenter. Korg wishes you to reaffirm your desire to join the Carpenters Guild. Wonderful. I should mention at this point that Timbermaster Beaton assesses all his would-be apprentices personally, so you will need to obtain his approval before you begin. Timbermaster Beaton can be a harsh and unforgiving man, but if you love the craft and have the will to learn, you could ask for no better tutor. He is quite simply the finest carpenter in Gridania. Yeah, but not necessarily the finest lever, as we found out a few days ago. Of course, it will take you some time and no small amount of effort to comprehend the full extent of his teachings, but you may rest assured that he will not lead you astray. That said, when you meet him, I would advise you to choose your words carefully and, resist the urge to run away. Why is that? Well, let's go speak with the Timbermaster and begin on our path to being a carpenter. Timbermaster? Another green adventurer come to play with souls? Yeah, you asked me that question a few days ago. Well, then I suggest you first speak with the... Oh, you've met with Korg, have you? That is well, but know that the decision to initiate you into the guild rests with me. Tell me, true adventurer, have you in mind to devote yourself to the art of carpentry? Yes, I do. The look on your face bespeaks determination, or mayhap trapped wind. Really? That's what we're going with? Or mayhap trapped wind. Indeed. Still, you look strong enough to hold a saw, and if your resolve is indeed genuine, I give you leave to remain, for the time being. However, you are useless to me in your current state. You are as a seedling, some potential perhaps, but no more like to thrive than perish. Experience is what you require, boy, and I shall give you the means to acquire it. Take this saw. It is old, yes, but sharp as needs be. Now, prove to me that you are not completely incompetent by taking up your new tool. Once you have done so, present yourself to me for inspection. And so, this challenge is completed. And the number of available gear sets is now increased. So now I am now officially recognized as a carpenter. So now, I want to equip myself with this saw, but in so doing, get stripped down to nothing. So yeah, for now, let's re-equip myself with everything that I was equipped with before, because I need to get the correct attire on for becoming a carpenter. Yeah, once you change ranks, once you change classes, you're stripped down to pretty much nothing, unless you came prepared, and in addition to that, had your items preset on a list, because you said a gear set here. We can use this gear set, and we can create a new gear set with what we have. So now that we have that, we now have to go over to the market in order to avail ourselves of correct attire to wear as a carpenter. So, to accomplish this, we need to go over to the market, which is over in Old Gridania. And so, closest place I believe is the Lancers Guild, so we can go ahead and do that. And then once we have gotten back into Old Gridania, we can make our way over to the market and be equipped with the correct attire. Because yeah, for every class you do, for every warrior class, for every magic class, for every crafting class, you have to have on the correct outfit. It's simply not so easy as having one class fits all, or one set of armor fits all, as far as classes are concerned. So, running over past the Flaming Queen, yeah, people will name themselves just the weirdest things. Alright, so, over into the market. So we want to find the correct person, tradecraft supplier. We want to find, hopefully, armor that is best suited for us, but he does not have it. Well then, okay, so it's not going to be from you. So let's go over to the other side then. Okay, there's the battlecraft supplier, but we need the tool supplier, I think. Tool supplier sets us up with what? No, not her either. Independent tailor maybe. Purchase field gear, yes. Alright, so as you can see, stuff that I need to begin as a craftsman is all way too high for me right now. So, as you can pretty much tell, I'm going to have to start doing these classes wearing not much. So, since I might as well just change now to my saw and get stripped down to nothing, let's put on the items that I was using before. Well, some of them anyway. Yeah, whatever I can be equipped with at level 1, I'll go ahead and wear. Anything else? Alright, that's fine, I guess. And you gotta start out somewhere, right? So, I will meet you guys back over at the Carpenters Guild then, and I'll be right back when I am ready to present myself to the Guildmaster, so don't go away. Okay, so we have the saw equipped, so now let's present it to the Guildmaster. My first saw, level 1 challenge. Timbermaster Beaton is testing fledgling carpenters by challenging them to craft maple lumber. Good, you have proven that you know how to grip a saw, but do not mistake it for a mere tool, for it is a part of you, of your arm. And you can put down part of your... Can you put down part of your arm? No. Mark me then, if you do put it down, and worse, lose the bloody thing, I shall use mine own saw to demonstrate to you the pain of losing a limb. Well, thank you. Ah, but I jest, one-armed carpenters are scarcely half as useful, in my experience. In any case, merely holding a saw does not make you a carpenter, whatever you some might think. You must become one with it, and learn to feel with it as you work with the wood. To wit, you must first know the wood. Demonstrate your knowledge by bringing me a length of maple lumber. Maple lumber is made from maple logs, just so. Our man Fell by the entrance will furnish you with such logs for a nominal price. Of course, any fool knows that fresh-cut logs are laden with water. To guard against decay, we use wind shafts to hasten the natural drying process. Do not forget to do the same. So to synthesize the length of maple lumber for Timbermaster Beaton, select logs from the main menu followed by crafting log. And so, get that out of the way. So we need to speak to the supplier, who should be somewhere. Yes, Farrell, right here. And you want, well, first we need to see what exactly is required of us to craft maple lumber. So we need 3 maple logs. That is what we require. So let's buy the whole shebang, the maximum 99. Yeah, that's not all that expensive. And so now we want to present a cord of maple lumber, or rather a piece of maple lumber, so we're going to hold down R2, press down on the crafting log, and then select maple lumber, and get that out of the way. So, all you really have to do is just hold down R2 and hit basic synthesis. And that will allow you to do what you need to do. And there we go, our first challenge taken care of just like that. So let's go ahead and present this to the Timbermaster. As I mentioned before, Farrell has maple logs in his stock, as well as many other materials we might require. Oh, if you are ready, show me what you have brought. Well, that's going to be down at the far end here. There you go, Guildmaster. Yes, I feel it. The wood tells all. There were no careless cuts. Saw and carpenter moved as one, as if dancing. Do you see this grain? How it flows softly like syrup? Durable, yet pliant, suitable for weapons and armor both. This child is maple. Trace the grain with your fingertips and memorize the lines. Consider every characteristic when choosing your materials. That is what it means to know the wood. The maple lumber you have brought me is acceptable. You have passed the first test. And in so doing, yet for all that is grown, your knowledge is still lacking. You must needs learn more. A true carpenter knows the qualities and uses of every tree in the forest. When you know the lines of the maple better than those upon your own hand, return to me. I shall have another test for you. Until then, child. So the next carpenter quest will be available from Beaton upon reaching level 5. And thus we complete our challenge. We get 100 experience, wind shards, ice shards, more maple logs, and a hempen curta, which will increase our craftsmanship ability. So, this challenge is completed. And in so doing, we also got enough points to gain an experience level. So now we're up to level 2, just like that. And the music to validate it as well. So yeah, we definitely got a lot of stuff taken care of, and we finally got ourselves to where we need to be. But for me, we have a long way to go yet, so I still have a lot of crafting to do if I'm going to be able to want to accomplish what I need to get my carpentry level high enough in order to make it relevant for using materia. So I'm going to get started on that right now. It's because I have a lot of stuff to do. So at this point in time, we'll call it a day. And so, yeah, you can sometimes screw up when you're trying to do a synthesis, but if all goes well, you should get what you're looking for. And so that's what I'm going to do for quite some time. So I'd like to take this point in time to thank everyone for watching the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. And when I join you again, we will see just how far I've gotten as a carpenter, and we'll also make it a point to move on to the next part of the main story. So until next time everyone, this is Matthew at Novora Autism, saying take care, and I'll see you soon.